Once upon a time, in the heart of a vast and ancient forest, sunlight danced through towering trees and bathed the earth in a golden glow. Birds sang softly in the canopy above, and the air was thick with the scent of leaves and wildflowers. Amid this natural beauty, a small lion cub, no more than a few months old, wandered through tangled vines. His fur, once bright and golden, was now streaked with mud. His amber eyes darted with fear. He was lost, far from his pride, alone in a world too big for him. Near a steep riverbank, the cub stepped on damp, crumbling earth. The ground gave way beneath him. With a sharp, panicked yelp, he tumbled into the turbulent river below. The current, icy and fierce, pulled at his tiny frame. He fought to stay afloat, claws digging into a jagged rock, his cries for help echoing through the forest. Not far from the river, a young deer was grazing in the fading light. His soft brown coat glistened under the evening sun. When he heard the cub's desperate cry, he lifted his head, ears twitching. Without hesitation, he bounded through the trees toward the sound. Reaching the river's edge, he stepped cautiously into the shallow water, the current tugging at his slender legs. He moved closer, then gently, carefully, nudged the shivering cub with his muzzle. Slowly, they reached the safety of the riverbank. The cub collapsed in exhaustion, his tiny chest heaving as water dripped from his fur. The deer stood nearby, watching him with cautious curiosity. Yet something in his eyes, something ancient and kind, offered safety. The next morning, the sun rose over the forest, casting long beams of light through the trees. In a quiet clearing, carpeted with soft grass and colorful wildflowers, the lion cub sat watching the deer graze. Though still weary, the cub's spirit had returned. He flicked his tail, then pounced playfully at the deer's tail. The deer startled, then let out a soft bleat. Amused, he relaxed, nibbling once again at the clover, while the cub rolled on his back and pawed at the air. That was the beginning of a bond no one could have imagined. As time passed, the cub grew stronger. The deer remained by his side. They explored meadows together, rested beneath trees, and drank from clear mountain springs. Where one moved, the other followed. They spoke in the language of trust, one that needed no words. Seasons changed, and with them, the land. The thick forest gave way to the wide-open savanna, where golden grass waved beneath an endless sky. The cub had become a mighty lion, his thick golden mane flowing in the breeze. The deer, too, had grown. His antlers were tall and proud, his frame graceful and strong. They now stood together on a hill, looking out over the plains as the sun began to set. The lion let out a deep, echoing roar. It once might have sent the deer fleeing, but now it stirred no fear, only a quiet understanding. They were no longer just companions. They were family, but the wild is never without danger. One dusky evening, the deer wandered too far from the hills, venturing into a dry, cracked riverbed. The ground was harsh, the air thick with silence. From the shadows, a low growl broke the stillness. A pack of hyenas emerged, eyes glowing, teeth bared, laughter cold and cruel. The deer froze. He lowered his antlers, ready to defend himself, but he was outnumbered. The hyenas circled, snarling, creeping closer. Then, like thunder, a roar shattered the sky. The lion charged in, his mane catching the last rays of sunlight, his body a blur of power. With a furious leap, he struck the leader deer, his claws slashing, his growl shaking the earth. The pack scattered in panic. The lion stood tall over the deer, his chest heaving, his amber eyes burning with fire. He had returned the life that was once given to him, without hesitation, without question. That night, under a sky filled with stars, the lion and the deer climbed a grassy hill. Fireflies drifted gently around them, their glow like whispers of peace. The lion lay in the cool grass, his mane glowing faintly in the starlight. The deer stood beside him, calm and watchful, his antlers reflecting the shimmer of the night. Below them stretched the savanna and the forest, two worlds once divided, now connected by something far greater. As dawn approached, soft hues of pink and gold spread across the horizon. The lion and the deer rose together, their steps slow but steady. Side by side, they walked toward the rising sun. The grass rustled beneath their feet, and their shadows stretched long behind them. Above, birds soared across the sky, their wings cutting through the morning light. And so, their story became legend. A lion and a deer, predator and prey, who defied the rules of nature. Not out of fear, not out of need, but out of something deeper. A tale of courage, a tale of loyalty, a tale of a bond that changed everything.